Well, welcome to the Hamilton County Coaches Show. I'm Perry Williams, and alongside me is the Hamilton Heights girls basketball coach, Keegan Cherry. Well, welcome to the Hamilton. Well, welcome to the Hamilton County Coaches Show. I'm Perry Williams, and alongside me is the Hamilton Heights girls basketball coach, Keegan Cherry. Welcome, Keegan.
Thanks, Perry. Always an exciting time of year, and glad for you to be here.
Yeah, you got 1 week under your belt here, practice and everything. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's kind of set the stage a little bit, because this time last year was a little bit different. You had just taken the job, and the girls were trying to feel you out. You were trying to feel them out on what kind of players that you had. So let's talk a little bit about that and how we go about summertime and summer basketball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, last year was obviously a big learning curve for the girls, but at the same time, you know, with Ashton Runner, you know, who we lost to graduation, and Taylor Boyd. Those girls set the foundation for these girls going forward, and they'll definitely be missed. In terms of this season and going forward, I feel like, you know, maybe we're 2 months ahead of where we were this time. And having 2 summers and a season, the girls are kind of used to me now, and I kind of have a better understanding in terms of what we've got.
Well, that's good. Now talk a little bit about how girls basketball or basketball set up. I know that when it comes summertime, when you get out at summer, what do you have how many weeks do you have with them that you can be a team, and then they go to their AAU program?
Right. Essentially, June is just like season for us in terms of practice, and then we have the ability to go to different team camps, playing different shootouts and things like that. But as far as practice goes, June is pretty much like season. I've got them Monday through Saturday.
And that, you know, that really helps a lot, you know, because that gives you the opportunity. I know you, like you said, you lost 2 seniors, and of course Ashton Runner was a big part of that program. So it was learning how to play without her, right?
Oh,
so
yeah, definitely.
That gives you a jump on that in that June.
Well, and it's not only learning to play without her, it's, you know, she held all of us accountable in terms of knowing our sets, getting girls in the right spots, and she was a girl that could go make a play. Ball's on the floor, Ashton was there. She could guard 1 through 5. So she just did a lot of the intangible things that a lot of times wouldn't show up in the box score. But without her doing those things, you know, we possibly aren't winning like we did.
Absolutely, and you know, I saw you several times last year, and we broadcast up here a few games, and you played some exciting basketball. You ended up 15-10 on the season,
yeah.
So you know, you had a pretty good season for the first year, and a winning season, and you know, that's what it's all about. Yeah,
you know, I was proud of the girls in the way they fought and they battled. You know, a lot of people may not realize, but we finished the state #1 statistically, defensively for 4A and 3A. So we did guard. Now, our tempo had a lot to do with that. There wasn't as many possessions, but you know, we do take pride in guarding people, and that's what we're going to have to do again this year. Yeah, because you have to make sure you can be there at the end to win a ball game. That's right.
I mean, that's what it's all about. Well, let's talk a little bit about you have some players back. I'll let you talk through those players, and maybe if you have some newcomers or even maybe some freshmen you think are going to help the program.
Yeah, I'm really excited, Perry, about the girls that we have in the gym this year. They are basketball kids. They enjoy each other. They enjoy being in the gym. And I can honestly say of the girls that we have now in the program, there's a real possibility that each of those girls will contribute at the varsity level at some point in their career if they choose to stick with it. So that's exciting from a coaching standpoint.
Right.
This year's team will, be led by our seniors. Anna Collar. You've gotten a chance to see her play over the years, and she is a kid you just absolutely love to coach. I mean, she's a fighter.
She's hardcore.
Oh,
I mean, she really is.
She nearly averages a double-double on rebounds and steals.
Yeah. She's hardcore, and she's not afraid to go after that ball, and she's not afraid to take on anyone. I was very impressed with her.
Yeah, and the other girls feed off.
Oh, absolutely.
So she had a really nice season last year, and she came on there in the sectional finals against Heritage Christian. In terms of athleticism, she was right up there towards the top of those girls from Heritage Christian. So she'll be a big key for us. We've got Kayla Kirtley back, coming off of her knee injury. One of 3 ACL injuries that we had last year, and all 3 of those were starters.
Yeah.
So you think about what we lost and what we were able to accomplish. I think that it's a huge credit to those girls and the way they were able to buy in and how they did buy into our system. But it's no secret Kayla's going to have to carry much of the load again this year. She can score at a real high level. She's able to stretch the floor. So we're going to need her scoring ability big time this year. We got Lexi Brannon back off of another ACL who's looking fantastic. Since I've been here, I think Lexi's in the best shape that I've seen her. She's got a lot of confidence now, and she can score as well. So I'm excited for her and in her senior year being 100% healthy and seeing what she's able to do for us.
Absolutely. And the one thing about it, Kirtley, if I can remember, about when was it she went down?
That was against Western Boone.
Okay.
It was like 4 games there prior to sectional.
Yeah. So that could have made a big difference in this 15-10 record too.
Oh yeah, sure. We had won 5 or 6 in a row there,
and she was playing well. I mean,
absolutely.
Because she was one that it took a little time to her to adjust to your style of play, but she's a great shooter.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. You have to guard her; she will make it.
Yeah, she's going to make the bucket. What about some of those upcoming juniors and sophomores that you have?
Yeah, we've got Lauren Wiley, who's back, who really progressed as the season went on last year. Hard worker. Going to need her to step up and be tough on the backboard. And when she's open, she's got to be able to score too. She's going to have to be a threat. I mean, teams are going to key on Kayla.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they're going to try to stop her, and those other 4 that are playing with her have got to when they're open, they've got to be able to score.
Yes.
So as a junior, Lauren, and then our sophomores, Bailey Runner was fantastic last year as a freshman. Her game continues to progress, and I'm expecting even bigger things out of her this year. Peyton Dissett, another sophomore that's coming up. We've got freshman Ella Shields and a whole host of others that will contribute at some point. So, it's going to be exciting to see how these girls kind of blend and mesh together, and I'm not. I guess I'm optimistic in terms of getting the season started.
Oh, absolutely. When I pulled up your schedule and everything and took a look at it, boy, you got a tough schedule too. I mean, you're going after some pretty big opponents early. With you got Brownsburg. Okay, it's in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, Danville, Noblesville, Guerin. That Fort Wayne Snyder tournament. Who all is up there?
Well, it's I know. I should know this off the top of my head, Perry, but I really.
It looks like you played. It looks like you played
Northrop first, and then
Snyder,
and then the other game. I'm not exactly sure.
I'm sure it's because who's going to win.
Yeah. So it's going to be that'll be great competition for us, Mount Vernon with Coach Shelton back, they're going to be.
Yeah, they're going to be ready.
Yeah.
And I am sure that I hear her daughter's a freshman, and
Yeah.
I would imagine she's probably a pretty good basketball
Yeah,
player.
we played them over the summer.
Yeah,
And
I
they
would
get
imagine
after.
she's a pretty good basketball player. So
They get after.
and of course, Pendleton Heights you got coming up, and always a good basketball
Yeah.
team, and you know a little bit about that program
I
over
do.
there.
It's one that we let get away last year. And
Yeah, and when you look down through here, Northwestern now they got a couple of D1 players. That's a good program up there right now. They're playing very, very good basketball.
Absolutely.
So.
I mean, I really don't see. It's probably a battle for second in conference. I mean, they're just loaded with talent.
Oh yeah.
Well coached, and the margin for error against that team is very slim, and even on a bad night for them, I think they're better than a lot of teams.
Then you play in another tournament, the East Central High School tournament. You'll play in that, and that really benefits you a lot early on in preparing your team for sectional times. Those holiday tournaments or those 2-day tournaments, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And we'll start out in that tournament playing East Central in the first game.
Yeah, so
really good program, and then I think we get Seymour. If we're fortunate enough to win, we get the winner of Seymour and whoever it is they play. But he does a great job over there of getting quality teams. So it'll be a top-notch tournament with quality competition.
And you know what? The one thing I always love about holiday tournaments and things like that is you're getting to see teams and style of play you normally wouldn't get to see.
Right.
I mean, we're kind of blessed here that we're, a lot of your schedule, a lot about those teams and everything and what to expect. But when you go to Fort Wayne, you go to East Central, it's kind of you see some talent up there that you don't normally see. And basketball, I mean, it's hard to believe, and it's always been this way. And I remember there's different styles from north to central to south in basketball in the state. It's just the way they play the game.
Yeah, right. And those tournaments, in addition to getting on the road and your hotel stays and the team bonding and everything that goes with that, you're getting, when it gets to the tournament time, you play on a Friday, then you turn around and play on a Saturday, so you don't have that week to prepare and so forth. So you do there are a lot of similarities in playing these holiday tournaments when it comes time to then prepare for tournament play.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing about it, especially if you're fortunate enough to win the sectional, when you start going to those regional and semi-states, and some of those tournaments you have to play in the morning and then come back and play that night.
Right.
And you have to have that period of time that you have off. What is it, 5 or 6 hours there has to be between your first game and your second game.
Right.
And your team has to be very disciplined because they have some idle time there, and so that the camaraderie of spending time away in a tournament like that helps when you've done early in the season.
Yeah, and that's Perry, I've followed us last year, and what we're trying to accomplish here is a lot of that is mental. I mean, we're not going to be the bigger, faster, stronger team 90% of the time that we play, but we do pride ourselves on being the smartest team, and then we want to out-tough you. So that's kind of what we get in those tournaments as well.
Absolutely, and you're right that it's all about building a team, and that's what you're working for, and you're also working to build this program here that you can have that feeder system, and I know you'll spend a lot of time with making sure that you follow and talk to the coaches in the 7th and 8th grade and some of your elementary programs to make sure that you keep a thumb on some of the talented kids that are coming up there, because there are some of those kids that, and I know, and that's where you want to get it, that there are 7th and 8th graders that come summertime in June that they may want to come over and work out with you.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. And we did that this summer, invited the middle school girls over. They were able to work out with us, and we had 80-some girls signed up for our summer camp. We just finished our fall skill league with 65 girls signed up for that. So there's a tremendous amount of synergy around the program. The community is very supportive, and hopefully we can put a product out there each and every time that they're proud to support, because it's bigger than we are.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing about you know, I grew up around here, and then I left for a while and went to Tennessee, and then came back. But I've always been amazed of how much support for athletics in this Hamilton Heights school system there is. I mean, you know, once they, you know, the people see that you're putting a good product on the floor, and, you know, wins and losses are very, very important, but still putting a good product and the making progress and working hard is very important. And you got to look, you have to be amazed when you come here, when you look out there and you look at your officials tables up there, and those guys have been doing that 20, 30 years, same guys, all that. You got the Schrocks, and you got Sherry Schrock that make sure she takes care of the things here, the hospitality, and those are great things, and it makes you feel really, really good. And what I always love to come up here is the people are so true to Hamilton Heights sports and helping you any way you can. And you know, it makes you feel as like you coming in here last year that you made a good choice on where you're going to raise your kids.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't be more happy. You know, you take basketball out of the picture, the family environment here and the school systems that my daughters get to go to is just fantastic. And then you combine that with the administration, Dr. Arrowwood, right on down to Mr. Ogden in the athletic office, Mr. Mason, the principal, just tremendous. Anything we need, they're there to support. I'm very fortunate and humbled to have this opportunity in Hamilton Heights.
Oh, absolutely. Because, you know, the one thing about it is, and this doesn't happen in a whole lot of schools, but you can look at that faculty rosters in all your schools, and a lot of those are students that went to school here and they came back. They went to college and they've come back. And Jared Mason's a perfect example. Dr. Arrowwood's another example that grew up here, left here. You know, Dr. Arrowwood was a couple of different places, but when it come push to shove, he knew he wanted to be back here in Hamilton High school system to raise his kids. And that's huge.
Absolutely.
That's huge. Well, Coach, we'll be up here, Hamilton County TV, for your game on November 10th when you play Noblesville, and then we're going to follow you to Guerin on the 14th to broadcast that game. And there's a few that that'll be with the what I call the A crew, but there's some of these things that I have a set up here that you see here that I may come up here and do some of these games like Mount Vernon and Pennington Heights on my own, and bring somebody with me. It'll be kind of an abbreviated, but it's important for me to and for Hamilton County TV to be able to create memories and allow those grandparents and aunts and uncles that can't always make it to the ball game to get to see Hamilton Heights sports, because it's a great place to be.
It is, and I got to tell you that I appreciate you being here. I appreciate the support that you give for our program, and to echo that, I get many, many compliments from grandparents that aren't able to get to the games and families that how cool it is to be able to watch that back on Hamilton County TV. So thank you.
We appreciate it. And we appreciate you taking the time out, and I'm sure that I'm going to be back 2 or 3 times this season, and we'll chat and talk, and we'll break down these X's and O's here, and we'll see how we're progressing. And like you say, I always like to talk about those intangibles that everybody doesn't see on the stat sheet, because if you haven't seen players like Runner and Collar, they're special kids, you know, and they leave everything on the floor.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I appreciate it, Coach, and
thank you.
I'll be seeing you probably in I'll be up here for November the 10th, and maybe we'll chat there too.
Welcome anytime.
Before game. Thank you.